Very interesting, yeah. And now let's talk a little bit. I mean, everyone's probably here to hear about the airdrop. 50%, more than 50% of the Genesis supply, which I think is a bit over 100 million tokens. I think there will be 200 million at Genesis, 1 billion total supply, reached after, I guess, a couple of years. What is the what can you share around the airdrop? Is it only going to be for Atom people? Is it going to be for other tokens that you onboard at the Genesis, or how do people get the airdrop? And what's the kind of like snapshot dates? If you can, was it already taken, or I don't know? You can share some stuff around that.
So with regards to the structure of the airdrop itself, it's not just for Atom stakers or holder. The philosophy behind the airdrop is that there should be an airdrop for every zone that we onboard, and obviously the idea being that in the long run there'll be a lot of things on these zones decided by Quick token holders, things like validator incentives, so on and so forth. So it's very important that the Quick token is distributed to everyone, and that also means that chains that don't exist as of yet. So a chain could potentially release in the future, and they should still be able to receive the airdrop. And about the snapshot date and things like that, I think it's best if we don't say anything with in light.
Was it already taken, or is it still in the future?
It hasn't currently been taken.
Hasn't currently been taken.
No,
It hasn't currently
been taken.
It has not currently.
I will say that much. I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to go into any explicit detail about who's getting what. Now, we did mention earlier that a couple of our core philosophies are governance, participation, and decentralization. So do with that what you will. And that's all we're going to say.
But I guess I mean, in the FAQ, there's by the way, great articles that you push out, also recaps of Twitter Spaces. I highly recommend check out the Medium side of QUICKSILVER.
That's all Valeria. She's absolutely fantastic. So definitely
and she speaks Spanish as well, right? I've seen her on
she's Puerto Rican. So yeah,
yes, I've seen her on Cosmos Spaces Español. So everybody who speaks Spanish, Valeria nailed it there. But so in the FAQ, it says the Genesis airdrop will be more than 50% of the initial Genesis supply. So does it mean that like this Genesis airdrop is going to be distributed for I guess Atom people, or are there more tokens that you onboard at Genesis in the beginning?
So at the moment, we're only committed to Atom at Genesis at this point in time. If there are other zones around at Genesis time that are have all the requisite prerequisites enabled, then there's absolutely nothing stopping us onboarding those zones either at Genesis or very shortly after Genesis. That 50 is 51.35%, I think off the top of my head, of tokens is that's not all for one airdrop. So what will happen is there'll be some airdrop at Genesis for those very, very early zones. We're in the process of building out an airdrop module so that we can do retrospective airdrops later on. So this incentives pool, basically, there'll be a module account within the SDK or within the QUICKSILVER zone controlled by governance. So at some point in the future, there'll be proposals saying, okay, we want to onboard Secret, for example. Here is a snapshot of Secret accounts that qualify and their weights. We want to allocate X amount of Quick tokens to Secret. Once that governance vote passes, then those allocations will take place and can be claimed at that point. So, yeah, the plan is for literally every single zone that we onboard, we want to be able to do these retrospective airdrops, so additional airdrops, as Vish said, so we can get the token in as many hands as possible across the ecosystem, and whether it's people that have come in directly into Cosmos, or whether they're coming because of OSMO, or whether they're coming to Secret or Terra who don't necessarily have 100% overlap. We want to be able to get these tokens into the hands of Cosmos people, and that's been our kind of core focus from the very first day of fundraising. All of our fundraising is from Cosmos OGs, validators, people, well-known people in the space, because we want this zone to be controlled by the Cosmos community, not by Ethereum token holders, not by Solana token holders. Like, it needs to be Cosmos all the way through.
And I think you guys raised a little seed round. I think I read that somewhere. Did you already publish that? Is that already finished or?
It's not been published yet. So we're just in the process of finalizing SAFT agreements and things. So that as soon as that is done and signatures are dry, then that will be there'll be an article announcing that seed round as well.
Okay, but there's not going to be any other round, public sale, any other private sales, or?
Not planned currently, no.
Okay, all right. Gurgi is asking in that context whether these airdrops are going to be validator specific.
Never. It's one thing that I am very, very not.
I mean,
well, not validator specific in terms of it only applies to certain validators. Your choice of validator may or may not have an impact on how much you get, based upon previous discussions we've had. But I'm very fundamentally against these airdrops that have taken place recently, where it's scoped to one or two different validators. I don't think that's particularly fair in terms of distribution. So every Atom staker, probably above some threshold of, we've not worked out that detail yet until we run some numbers, but we'll get quick tokens, and who you delegate to will have an impact on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess on a big picture, like as always, just try to avoid any like centralized exchanges. Yeah.